When I first started into my work, the very first work that I did in a helping capacity, if you will, I don't really like that word, but was that I worked as a midwife, and I worked as a prenatal teacher and a labor coach, and ran movement and meditation classes for women, and I attended quite a few births. And being at a birth is such an amazing experience. I learned so much about healing, about going through difficulties, about finding inner strength, so many things I learned from my days in midwifery. But one of the things I really learned was about the body, and about how the body is full of wisdom, and about how the body has its own innate wisdom, and how in so many circumstances that comes to the fore, and it can sometimes be so much more accurate than anything we would ever come up with in our minds. So when I moved from working in women's health and in prenatal and postnatal health in particular, and the whole birthing experience, I moved into doing holistic psychotherapy. And that was my grounding and my understanding about the power of the body, the wisdom of the body, and the price we pay when we don't listen, when we're not connected to the body, when we're not attuned there, because the body will not be dismissed. It will be for a time, but it will always speak its piece one way or another. And from the birthing experience, I also learned tremendously about the power of breath. And of course, nowadays, through yoga, through meditation, through all the different Eastern influences, through many different channels, we're hearing all the time about the breath. But the breath and the body, they are totally one mechanism. Because if we're not breathing, we don't have the body too much longer. And so in my work, I had a very, very firm grounding in that. And I would say when I was discovering sort of what was my particular gifts in my earlier life and what was my particular themes that I would work with, I think the body piece was always there for me very strongly, even before I ever had any of these experiences, because I was born in the country, in the rural setting, and in a certain way had a lot of freedom to explore and to be very physically active, and had just nature was a constant companion, sometimes my very best companion. And all of those things helped me, I think, to really embody in my own body and to just know some things about that that have been just a total saving grace for me at different points in my life. So I don't think I ever really could have done my work without the body. And talking about, the culture that we live in right now that can be so incredibly head-orientated, so very linear, so very cognitive, so very rational. Again, we're really out of balance in terms of all of those things are wonderful and they're needed and they're beautiful gifts, but when we're cut off from everything else, it's problematic. So I want in my work, and I make it important in my work, to always bring the body piece in and to hold it in my awareness, and to bring good people in to help me to hold that piece as well.